If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Welcome back. My name is Chris Stoners, WNST 1570 Towson, Baltimore. Before we get started, next week, semifinals Coors Light, King and Queen, Baltimore Sports will take place at Donna's Tavern Wednesday, May 13th with $2 Coors Light bottles and $3 Blue Moon bottles. Hope to be a part of that, but if not, everybody still come out and head to Donna's. Last week, Nestor sent an email to the 13 competitors remaining in this contest, and he had some good advice. Primary advice was basically talk about what you know, talk about what you think will drive interest. To me, when I'm listening to WNST, what I'm listening for is coverage about the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps. So that's what I'm going to talk about today during my 15 minutes. Now, let's start with the Orioles. Okay, you just got swept in Toronto. You've lost 6 in a row. You're 9-16 overall, and you've fallen 8 games behind Toronto. It's still a matter of keeping things in perspective. There's 137 games left in the season, and the primary problems about the Orioles can be addressed from within. We all know what the issues are. You have a limited starting rotation, and you have a 7, 8, 9 in the lineup providing no production. So how do you address that? Let's start with when one of your main issues is your starting catcher is a 38-year-old journeyman batting 130. It kind of helps that you have the top positional, top catching prospect in all of the minors in your system in Matt Wieters. I wanted Wieters up April 17th at Boston because that would have been the first day you could have brought him up and still had him under organizational control through the 2015 season. But, and I would have him in the lineup tonight at Tampa, but I'm not going to kill the Orioles for not having him up. Primary reason for that, despite any other reason you read, is it goes back to him potentially obtaining Super 2 status. And that means all players are able to obtain become salary eligible, salary arbitration eligible after 3 seasons before 6. But a select few can become eligible after 2. If Matt Wieters was designated as a Super 2, that would cost the Orioles millions of dollars over the length of his contract. To me, and I think most of Baltimore, kind of looks at that and says, so what? On the other hand, you could look at it and say, if those millions of dollars that would be spent on Wieters would cost you bonus money with draft picks or would otherwise hurt the roster, then you can make a case that we can all wait 1 month for Zahn to be replaced. Regardless, Matt Wieters is going to be the starting catcher by the first week of June. So where else on the diamond can you improve? Felix Bier had an abysmal first 48 at-bats with the Orioles. On the other hand, the kid's 24, has had success at AA and AAA. I personally believe he can improve. But if I'm wrong, he's going to be replaced in-house by Nolan Remold. If you haven't been paying attention to the Norfolk box scores, Remold has, in his first 80 at-bats at AAA, has an OPS over 1,200. So it's pretty simple here. PA starts producing or he's replaced internally by Remold. Either way, you're going to improve in left field. So we've improved in left, improved at catcher. I'd like to tell you we could have a replacement on the way for Cesar Asturias, but that's just not going to happen this year. And if we're lucky, maybe next month in the June amateur draft, maybe there'll be a replacement for Asturias. The Orioles had the 5th pick overall. Hopefully, in my estimation, we can select Grant Green out of USC. We'll see if that happens. I saw today that Keith Law of ESPN has some questions about Green's abilities as a projectable hitter and his ability to stay at short.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.